What is going on, guys? I'm on my way to go meet up with Iggy and Christian at Lowe's. Then we're gonna go back to Iggy's house. Christian's been helping Iggy work on his car. He's doing like a valve cover replacement because it's been leaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and meet up with them. And as you can tell, I am in the race car today. So I need to get this thing smogged. So I need to drive it to set the readiness codes after swapping all of the parts back over for the intercooler and the intake and everything else. So I figure I can run the readiness codes on this. So I'm gonna drive it and have fun. Good. I'll catch up with you guys at Lowe's with Iggy and Christian. Hey! I found my team.
Oh, thanks, Christian. Finally, you started vlogging again.
What's up, guys? We got Christian taking some shots at some of these cars. Yeah, me, Christian, Iggy, and a bunch of his friends.
So we're gonna move the cars outwards a little.
Got all the cars lined up, taking some interesting angled photos with Christian. So we're just taking some more shots and trying to get some different variations on it, get some more cars lined up. Alright guys, what's going on? So back from the photo shoot with a bunch of guys, a couple of the envious guys and a few guys that aren't envious. So it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. Instead of helping Iggy with his valve cover, by the time I'd met up with them, they pretty much had to put some bolts in and they were good to go. And I don't know if you guys can tell behind me, but that is not one of my cars. It's actually Jamm's car. So she dropped her cord off while she was out of town. While she's out of town for the week. So I can try and take a look at her rear strut, which is having issues. It's not airing out, and one of the fittings looks to be bad. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the fitting and see if that fixes any of the issue before she takes it to a shop. And that way it's kind of safe in a garage while she's out of town, and we'll figure out how to get it back to her when she gets back. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the wheel, and then she's got a leaky valve cover. So if I can, I'm gonna try and take a look at that as well while she's gone. So let's go ahead and get this wheel off so I can take a look at the fitting. So as you guys can tell, this one's not airing out, which is going to be her major problem with it. Whenever she airs out, it kind of stays where it is. You really can't see anything in there, but with the strut, it just won't air out. So I'm going to try and take a look at the fitting and see if there's anything I can do. And then she's got the front one. I've kind of got her car blocked in right now. But the front one airs out without airing out at all. So I'm going to try and check the fitting on that one as well. But not gonna lie, she's got some great fitment on the front of this car. Alright guys, so it's kind of hard to see, but that's the fitting there. And the line is smashed. So I don't know if it's allowing it
to kind of leak out or not come out. So I'm going to, I don't know, figure out how to clean all that up. See if maybe I may have just like cut the line and see if I can replace it and possibly buy some more line and run it back up into the trunk. So you just kind of gotta figure out what I can do to let the air out of the strut, and then the goal is to replace the fitting, so I gotta see how hard it's gonna be to do that. Whether I'm gonna drop the tops and then disconnect the rear as well. So let's see what I can do. So this is also her air setup. I love this air setup. It's so clean and crisp with the bends and stuff. It took forever to get it done by the shop that did it, but makes the truck really not useful. But overall, it's just a pretty clean look. But I gotta finish how to get this panel off in order to get to that strut and get the strut unmounted. So let's start doing that. Alright guys, so this is where I'm gonna stop for the night. I've got the airline detached. As you can kind of cut away on it a little bit. But you can tell like the fitting is completely in the wall of the rear quarter. So I gotta figure out how to get that fitting, which means I gotta drop the top struts. I've already got the bottom of the strut undone and kind of got the airline pre-run. So it's got a compression fitting on it. I've already got that ready to go. So I'm not gonna focus on it, but I already got it ready to go right here. And I just need to hook it all back up. And now the bag's got no pressure in it because I was able to remove the line. So I just gotta figure out how to get that fitting back together. And then hopefully this strut will work. If not, we'll have to figure out another option. But I wanted to try it before I did anything else. But I gotta figure out how to drop the top strut, which means I gotta like remove half the interior. So we're gonna work on that. Because I have removed some of the stuff in here. And with about where the strut would be, if you remove all this, you can't really get to it because it's about here. So I kind of need to do, it's right there, so kind of need to do some research on how to work on the Accord because I haven't really done a lot of research. I was hoping this was going to be like a straightforward thing. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night for tonight because I'm kind of tired and I got to get ready for work tomorrow, and I have work tomorrow still. So I'm hoping I can get everything done strut-wise so I can get the car in and out of the garage. And then if I have time, I can go ahead and deal with the valve covers. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the gaskets because I got to pick up a gas cap for the Pink Mini anyways because I've been dailying that and the gas cap went bad. So it's starting to check engine light. So I got to pick up the gas cap, and the O'Reilly's down the street has the valve cover gaskets for the Accord. So while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. So everything's already there. And Jamm's just gonna pay me back for it, and hopefully they can get her car out of my garage. That way she can have it back when she gets back. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. I'll follow up with you guys in the morning. Alright guys, I know it's kind of dark, but there's the air tank setup. If you let down the back seat, there's a plastic piece, and then you can actually get to the top of the strut. So I'm gonna try and remove that real quick before I have to go to work. Alright, so I've got the top of the strut all unmounted. I just need to get, it's kind of hard to see, the sway bar end link off. So I just have to get this one off here, and once that's off, I should get the strut right out, and then I just have to replace that fitting there. And with that fitting replaced, I'm hoping to put like a 90 on it, so it'll come straight down and not have to have any more problems. So I just need to know what thread size that is so I can pick that up and get the sway bar end link undone so I can pull the whole strut out. Alright guys, good news is we got the strut out. I already removed the fitting, and if you look through my messy garage, come over here. So this is the fitting I pulled out with the 45 and the compression, and this was kind of a tight fit. So I'm going to try this one, which is the 90. And if you look at the way these are run, this should give me a little bit more room, and it's got the compression fitting on the bottom. So hopefully that will allow Jamm to have more room in order to run the airline. So let's go ahead and I'm going to thread this into the strut, and then I'm going to try and get the strut back in and realign the car. Okay, so I got the strut back in. I just need to tighten the top. I left the 45-degree on it because I couldn't get the other one in for some reason. The thread pitch is weird on the strut, so it's not really like a normal size from what I can figure out that the place had. So I left it, I just turned the housing, I unbolted the whole strut and turned the whole housing to give it a little bit more clearance so she shouldn't have any issues. And then I got the bottom all put back together, and then I just need to tighten the top and we'll get the wheel back on and see if I can get it to air out. Alright, so now that I've got her trunk half taken apart, I got the one strut working. The only problem is it took me having to switch some air lines around in order to get it to work. So the one disconnected with anything right now is the rear left, which the line works, so there's really no issue with it. But the one next to it is the one for the rear right, which is the one she was having issues with. It had aired up, it wouldn't air out. And right now, if I were to press, you know, the air up button, no air comes out of this. I put a little short line on it, but no air comes out of this line. So I ended up swapping the two struts, making sure the strut works. So the strut does work. I replaced the fitting, you know, I fixed the fitting and everything else. So that was probably a bonus. But now I can get air out of this line for the rear. I can't get air out of this line for the rear. So what I'm gonna end up doing is piecing the rear left and the rear right together and hooking them up to the rear left fitting, and then hoping the system doesn't hate itself and allows it to air up the rear together. It seems like the only way I'm going to get this thing fixed for her to be able to drive it at least home. And the bad part is it looks like the manifold's bad. The bonus is it looks really good up here. I just have to have her look at the manifold and see if we can get that fixed. Alright, so we got the rear struts. This is like her ride height. So both struts aired up in the rear. It's not trying to activate the one strut. I got the remote reconnected. Apparently it just wasn't plugged in all the way. It was hooked in, just not like that final clip in. So got the remote sitting right there. I pretty much just got to put the rear seat back in, you know, put the panel back on, put the rear seat back up, fix this seat because it's just kind of loose right now, and then I should be able to take it for a drive.